So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to my top 25 albums of the year. I'm your host, Hector, and today we're going to go from number 25 to number 21. So, yeah, this has been a big year for music, and some great albums have come out. So, yeah, the albums that I'm gonna have on this list, there's so many albums and there's some that I can't have, but these are albums that for some reason really stood out with me and stood out for very amazing ways. So without further ado, let's start with number 25. And number 25 album is an album that came out at the beginning of the year, and it was a comeback record because this band hadn't released albums like in 10 years. So they came back after Song Eater in 2014, I believe, or 2012, with Moon Healer. And this is a great record. It's obviously Job for a Cowboy, the death metal. And I actually interviewed their bass player, Nick Chins, because the bass on this record is, to me, one of the standouts of this record. It's just amazing. It's really some great bass tones to it. And this album deals a lot with addiction, especially with addiction to like opioids or things that stimulate your brain. And the artwork is exquisite. And yeah, this is a great record. And there's been a lot of like great death metal albums this year, but I think this album really, even at the end of the year, still stands out as being one of a very strong album. It's at my number 25 because even though I think it's strong, it's not an album that I listen to like a lot, like some other albums that I have on my list. But all the way, it's still a great record that needs to be recognized because it really is a great record. And, Job for a Cowboy did a comeback after 10 years that some people would have thought that would have never happened because, Song Eater was so great. So the bar was set up high. So my album at number 24 is actually a newer band that I've been into, and they are very interesting because they're a duo. There are two people in the band, and being two people, they have a great sound. So the band is called Coma Hole, and the album is Hand of Severance. And this is a record that it has a lot of like fuzzy, like bass tones. But when I interviewed Erica, she told me that she used a lot of like sounds to make it sound like it was like a guitar, and she did play some guitar on this record, and it shows. This is a great album. Like if you listen to songs like Nevermind, and it has other great tracks on it. It's a short record, like at 32 minutes. I think it's called King Bee or Queen Bee. That's a great song as well. The artwork was done by Erica herself. And yeah, this is bass and drums, but they sound bigger, more lush. And this is best way to describe the sound of this band is like fuzzy guitar tones with some grunge elements to the vocals. And this is in case because Erica loves, like when I talked with her, she loves Alice in Chains. That's her favorite band. And I could tell a lot about what she liked in her vocal delivery in this record. So this is a newer band. So if you don't know them, Coma Hole, do not sleep on this record. This is a great record and a great newer band that people should have on their radar. So coming in at number 23, it's another band that I interviewed for the channel, but I didn't have time to review the record, sadly. And it's a great record. So the name of the band is Lizzard, and the album is called Mesh. So this is alternative rock with some progressive elements to it. There's some great tracks here like Elevate, Mad Hatters, Unity, and the album closes with The Beholder, which is great. I love the vocals on this album. It's all clean singing, which I have nothing against clean singing. Actually, I'm a huge fan of clean singing. To me, if all the bands can do clean singing well, I have no problem with it. So yeah, this is a great album, very emotive. I remember there's some part in the vocals that I don't know why it reminded me of Brandon Boyd from Incubus. but obviously it's not Brandon Boyd, but great band. They hail from France, and that the album is full of like great melodies, great singing, and they're on tour right now. So if you can catch them on tour, it would be great. I would love to see this band on tour. And also, I interviewed them and we talked more about this record. So, Lizzard Mesh, do not sleep on this record. Great record indeed. That's why I have it at my number 23. So, coming at number 22, this is an artist that I've enjoyed for a long time now. She's very talented and she does different styles. So, I'm talking about Chelsea Wolfe. And she had an album, but she also had an EP this year. But I'm talking about her last album, She Reaches Out to She, Reaches Out to She, which is a mouthful. This came out back in February, and I reviewed this one with Señorita Sabrosura. Standout tracks, I love Tunnel Lights, Whispers in the Echo Chamber, Salt. It's just a great record. It's more of a trip dance record, like a trip hop. It has like a dance type of feel, like dark electronic, moody. Not as much as like she's had like folk, she's had some metal. So this one is more in that trip hop element to it, but it's a great record. I listened to this album a lot at the beginning of the year. Then I didn't listen to it that much, but I kept listening to it. And yeah, it's an amazing record by Chelsea Wolfe. Again, I think she's a great artist, and she's very unique in what she does. So that's why I have it on my top 25 at my number 22. So coming in at number 21 is a band that is bringing goth rock back, and happy to say that they're going to play in Puerto Rico on April 5th of next year, and I hope to see them live. So I'm talking about Unto Others, which put out their newer album, Never Neverland, just a few months ago. And, it has some great tracks to it, like Butterfly, Suicide Today. I did review this album, and I like it that they mesh like goth rock with some like also classic heavy metal. They have a song here like Mama Likes the Door Closed, which is really tongue-in-cheek and has like that metal riffing to it. I think it's a great, promising new band. From the albums from them, I think I like the one before this a little bit better, but I think this is a great album as well. There's just one track that I didn't like, which was Hoops. But besides that, this is a great record. And I'm excited to see them next year playing live in Puerto Rico. So yeah, there you have it. Those are my first picks for my top 25. So coming up next, I'm going to do the second installment, which is number 20 to number 16. So until next time, couchers, this is Hector, the chill dude on the couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.